Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When we were trying to get this podcast off the ground, we had so many questions. How do we record an episode? Where do we find background music? How do we get our show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that people like to listen? And where do we find advertisers? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, distributing, and monetizing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and 100% ridiculously easy to use. Anchor makes it simple to get up and running. You can upload and schedule your podcasts ahead of time. It publishes to all the major podcast platforms. You can easily check your stats. I could go on, but instead, why don't you go and get started? Go to anchor.fm/start to join the e-commerce minute and a diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
It's the E-commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-commerce Minute, episode 371.
In today's episode, RedThread uses body scanning for best clothing fit.
RedThread is an innovative clothing company that women will absolutely love. RedThread aims to do away with sizes and instead focus on actual fit. Currently, RedThread makes and sells 4 items: ankle and wide leg pants for $148 each, a snap jacket for $168, and a t-shirt for $78. Down the road, RedThread plans to expand its apparel offerings, but the goal will always be to offer everyday basics for working women. RedThread designs its clothes to ensure they're easily tailorable. Quote, "We're able to custom fit more quickly than if you brought in a random pair of pants and tried to get it tailored," end quote, says founder Megan Litchfield. Using the RedThread app, you photograph yourself from 3 angles, along with a photo of the room. Its 3D mobile body scanning technology pulls 15 specific measurements from the model and inputs them into RedThread's algorithms to calculate the best fit for you. Their patent-pending algorithms, manufacturing process, and designs get custom-fit clothes to the consumer within a week. RedThread is currently working to add additional clothing to its clothing line. It's also considering partnering with other clothing brands to increase the number of clothing choices users can make with the app. RedThread wants to save you from having to choose between the size up or size down. They want to take away the fear that something won't fit when it comes in the mail. So this is more of a technology story than a fashion story.
Is that what we're going for?
Megan Litchfield was a vice president at GoPro, so she's more of a tech person. As you see, they only sell 4 things that are very spendy, but, and we can talk about women's fashion and how hard it is for a working woman to keep up on their wardrobe. We've talked about in other stories. This is more utilitarian. This stuff fits me, and it's my get in and go clothes. I think it's a great concept, but again, I think it's more of a tech play than a fashion play.
Yeah. I mean, you would hope that it's a tech play since he comes from a tech world.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the clothing that is on offer, and again, it's only 4 pieces right now. It's very basic, almost a minimalist style, which appeals to a lot of people, a lot of women. It's not stuff that's going to be high fashion. And again, it's that anxiety. I mean, men have this too, but I think women suffer from it worse because of all their curves, that things might not, you order something online and it's like, it's not going to fit.
I would say dudes do too. I mean, it's if you look at fashion stuff, like I think you used to be able to walk in, say, hey, I got 36, 32s and I can just pick one up. Not anymore. You have to try stuff on. It's so all over the place.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the clothing companies, and I've read this, is that a 38 is not a 38 across the board anymore. A 38 could be different because, unfortunately, Americans are getting larger, and the psychology behind it is, well, I don't want to buy the bigger size. So what the clothing companies are doing is they're skewing the sizes so that, a 36 might actually be a 38. But that's not going to work if you've bought a 38 your whole life. So like you said, you've got to try things on.
Now you got to try things on. So having those fit and how many times have you picked up like a t-shirt that's extra large or large for you, and it's just like form fitting, and then you pick up another one and it's like you're floating in it.
Yeah, that drives me crazy. That is a great example. There's certain types of shirts that I buy that I put it on, I'm like, man, this shirt looks great on me. And then I put another one and it's like, where did I get this tent from? And it's the same size. It looks like I'm wearing a tent.
Yeah. It's like, why is there no standard measurements? You know, it makes no sense.
Yeah. So custom sized clothing is not exactly a new concept, but what they're trying to do here, and again, I'll say it for the 15th time, is more of a tech play. I wouldn't be surprised if these ladies get acquired. I believe it's a female-only company. It's founded by a female. You can write me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't be surprised if this company got acquired by like an Amazon or Walmart or somebody like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's definitely, that may happen.
All right, and then the company's called RedThread. The link for the website is not on here, so give me a second. The problem with the name of RedThread is apparently, as a common acronym, there are other companies called RedThread that don't do what these ladies do. But the URL is redthreadcollection.com. And you can find full show notes on our website, ecommerceminute.co. Bart, you got anything else?
Stop naming your companies the same thing as everybody else.
Yeah, it's namespace pollution. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media @SumoHeavy.